Greetings. Hey, it's Susie Q here. Super excited. Today's my birthday. Oh, I love it. All right, so today we're going to talk about body scans, and we're going to see what we can get with that energy. And so I have an example of a body scan. I've been doing body scans since 2015, and some of it was automatic. Some of it was like, why am I even looking at this stuff? Why am I looking at people's hot spots in their body? Why am I even connecting? And so every once in a while, if I did some Reiki or I did some other energy work, I would maybe assist a person. But I think generally speaking, if um, it's just best to just let it be. And especially if somebody is having something where I'm getting a vision with some hot spots in the body through a body scan, I just infuse some energy. That's it. I don't say anything. I don't have nothing to say. I just infuse some energy. All right, so I'm going to give you an example of a body scan that happened to me back in 2017. And it was kind of extraordinary, different, and weird. And so, with that body scan that I had, I realized that kind of in the middle of the night, my arm was on my right side. My arm here was feeling sore, but I was still kind of asleep and I wasn't really aware what was going on. And then I woke up in the morning and then I took a look at my right arm, and then it was like a golf ball size, um, big. It was like a golf ball that was attached to the muscle here on my right side. And so I was like freaked out. I was like, oh my God, stop the press. What's happening? And then because I work with energy and I perceive energy, I see it, I smell it, I experience it, I eat it, all this energy, I decided to get a permanent marker. And when we were looking at this, again, the big golf ball size, whatever it was attached to the muscle. I went and did a permanent marker, and when that happened, there was all this inflammation all the way through to the wrist, all the way up to kind of almost to the shoulder. So what I did was I took that black marker and then I just erased. I actually traced where all of that red inflammation was, and I just kept it there. And so I didn't really want to talk to anybody about it. I just realized I'm going to wear long sleeve shirts and I'm going to manifest a most benevolent outcome with that big golf ball size thing in my arm that was right here. It was crazy. So it took a little bit of time for me just to kind of like reconcile, is this bad or is this serious? And I kept thinking, I am watching it, especially with that permanent marker that was all around here. And then every day, it took a few days, and then it started receding. So even though that permanent marker was still there, some of that inflammation was getting smaller and smaller. It took a while. I think eventually it might have been for maybe 5 days total. And I think somebody said, well, maybe it was a spider bite. Maybe it was a spider bite. It doesn't matter. When I'm looking at healing energies for myself or for others or through body scans, I just don't really get too deep with the story, why or how or what, or I don't even go there. I just keep working with the energy and seeing if we can recede some stuff that's in the body that's showing up. And sure enough, eventually that big golf ball sized event happens. So these things can happen quickly. They could happen in a different way. It could be something extraordinary and amazing. I also had another healing event back when I was in my late 20s. And apparently, I'll say I had something in the ovary area, and it was, I call it stagnant energy. So when we're looking at things, you could say, well, it's this organ or this or that, or this is how a doctor would call it. I just say, generally speaking, it was in the area of the left ovary, and I just had I was diagnosed with something. And then I kept going to different doctors, blah blah blah. And every time I went, it would be the same answer, same answer, same answer. And I was like so busy with kids. My kids were little. I had these beautiful healing events, and that was the biggest one I had in my late 20s with something going on with what we call the ovary. I just say, generally speaking, there's stagnant energy there. And I continued until I finally went to the next. I went almost every day getting some feedback from another doctor, and it was the same thing. And then finally, it happened, and it was gone. It was freaking gone. So when we're working with healing energies, and this is not like for everybody, but I'm clearly like a pretty like an open channel of possibility and potentiality. But body scans within the body are magnificent because it's giving us more guidance. It's saying what's next. So when we get these healing events or these experiences with the body that may be kind of outside of the frequency, not within the frequency that we're normally at, we have an opportunity to stop, drop, and roll. No, stop, drop, and but this has been an extraordinary experience with body scan. And as I've been doing more of the body scan work with some of the work that I do with the Akashic Records or quantum healing hypnosis technique, now I'm a practitioner level 2. And so we start working with that, and I just think it's a great place to be, especially if an event happens, stagnant energy or low vibe or whatever that is that we can do our very best to not name it. I always like, don't name it, don't name me. But I would say that the best you can do is to continue to focus on what you do want. What do you want with a healing journey? What do you want it to be? Do you want it to be light and cheery, or do you want it to be something that's going to take forever? And so for myself, a lot of my things happen quicker because I don't really name anything and I don't really talk about it. I just acknowledge that I'm watching the receding of something that's within the body, spirit, soul, I don't know. But these energies are so powerful and so amazing. So I'm real excited to share a little bit more about the body scans. I've got plenty of other examples through some of the sessions that I give people, but these are some of my own personal little tidbits for you to kind of chew on. But these energies are so powerful. And, when you look at the energetics, just think about each one of us we're just energy beings. Every cell is energy. Everything about us is pure energy. So when we start working with body scans, we start noticing that, well, everything is everything and energy is all there is. So let's just work with the energy and see if we can infuse more guidance, more love, more unconditional love to come into your field. And then that you just start working with that. And so this is a process for a person, especially if they're in some sort of a body event or a mental event or whatever you want to call it. But I would really suggest that you maybe lean into some of this energy and just see what it would be like if you don't name it and you just generally speak, just energy to energy. So pure light energy, let's just call that pure light energy. Or you could say, through the crown of my head, I've got crystalline energy coming through from the crown all the way down to my little toes. So these are great benefits, I think, for a lot of people if you're willing to set aside a few things, that you might want to just kind of look at and meditate, and then focus on what you really do want with your body or your spirit or your soul or your thoughts or your auric field, anything of that. So we can really clear a lot of that energy. So I think that's it for now. So it's my birthday. It's my birthday and I'll cry if I want to. Anyway, so have a great day and namaste.